You know, what's really, I think, stunning is the absolute corruption of the mainstream media. If you don't go to places like Sky News in Australia and a couple of other places, maybe Breitbart, a little more on the right of things, you probably will never know that there was a hearing in the Georgia Senate in front of the Judiciary Committee with respect to the election. You didn't hear that. You can do a Google search. Georgia Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. Zero zip, nada from the mainstream media. No NBC, no CBS, no CNN, no MSN, nothing. Not even Fox. Now, why do you suppose they would ignore this? Well, the attorney presenting the new videotape evidence, Jackie Pick, a Trump legal team volunteer and also an attorney, presented about a 40-minute long presentation with respect to the counting in Fulton County, I believe, at one of the State Farm Arena or something like that. And the videotape appears to show that the ballot workers started counting ballots when everyone was either removed from the room or told to go home, or they just left on their own. Unsure. But the story goes at 10:30, they said, hey, we're going to shut down for tonight. We're going to start counting again in the morning. Okay, fair enough. They can do what they want. It's their election. However, closed-circuit television seems to indicate that when everyone was out of the room except for 4 people, 2 running the ballot machines and 2, I guess, supervisors, boxes of ballots were pulled from underneath the table, and they started counting again after everyone was gone, which I believe is a violation of Georgia law. You got to have witnesses and all of that. Give the, Republicans and the Democrats the opportunity to have their people in the room to make sure that everything looks like it's going okay. There was no one there except those 4 people. So this videotape was presented by the attorney, Ms. Pick, and there was some questions and answers and various other things. And I mean, I'll put the link below. You can look at it yourself. But I found it very interesting. There was one senator, I believe she perhaps was the second to ask a question. Her name is Senator Elena Parent. Now, you could probably guess which party she might be affiliated with. I'm just, putting it out there for you. Even with this, and Hamster's not saying, hey, this was fraud, this was illegal, this was whatever. I'm just saying, seems a little bit interesting. When you're not supposed to count ballots without witnesses, they were. Okay? We don't know the whole story. All we have is a videotape from the closed-circuit TV cameras. Now, Hamster says to himself, look, the people in the room had to know they were being taped, right? So why would they be doing something obviously illegal? I just can't imagine why that would happen. They know they're being videotaped, right? That would be rather foolish, wouldn't it? So, again, I find it hard to believe that these people in the room that were counting the ballots were doing anything fraudulent or illegal, knowing that they were being videotaped. But we do have the videotape, and it was presented before the Georgia Judiciary Committee by attorney Ms. Pick. Let's listen in on the questioning to Ms. Pick with respect to the videotape. Senator Parent from Georgia.
Yes.
Senator Parent.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. We heard from the Secretary of State's office earlier, just a couple hours ago, that they've investigated this repeatedly, that they had a monitor on site the entire time.
Except the monitor is not visible in the videotape. So the monitor could have been on site, but maybe not in the room. See, we don't know. A lot of questions. But we should just shut up, not ask questions. Donald Trump is evil, and he's a loser. This election was the most sound and not riddled with fraud election we've ever had in the history of the United States. There's no evidence of, but what about the videotape? Shut up! It's not evidence.
And frankly, this has been debunked for weeks by our Secretary of State's office.
But now we have a videotape to look at. You can clearly see everybody leaves the room except 4 people. Boxes of ballots come out from under a table, and they start counting again, which is against Georgia law with no witnesses. Other than that, I mean, it's probably not fraud. It's probably just an honest mistake. Does that sound about right, Senator Karen?
I doubt he's seen the video.
Evidence, then I think the courts will probably be able to handle this once you present your evidence.
Of course, she doesn't believe that this is evidence because, well, seems like some people have just made up their mind. Trump didn't win. We've got a videotape here showing some stuff. No, let's not ask questions. You're a conspiracy freaking. Oh, God.
To them, as I'm aware, there have been about 40 lawsuits dismissed already.
So she says, hey, this evidence, great. You need to go to the court, let them handle it. Oh, by the way, we've had 40 lawsuits dismissed already. What does that have to do with this new videotape, Senator? Except for nothing. Are you just trying to figure out something to say here because you're like, holy shit, that sure looks a little bad on that videotape, you know what I'm saying?
And according to the law of the state of Georgia.
So you're going to tell us what the statutes are with respect to having witnesses in the counting room, right? Because that'd be a relevant thing to mention, since it appears on the videotape there aren't monitors and poll watchers and stuff. So what is the section in Georgia law that handles that particular thing?
We do not have the power to submit alternate electors.
What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? We're talking about ballots being counted with no witnesses on videotape. And she cites something about alternate electors. I guess, is Trump asking for alternate electors? I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. But this hearing's about the videotape. So what does this have to do with anything, Senator?
The provision in the law is quite clear at 21-501F.
Is there a question?
Now listen to this evil mansplaining white man. He's probably a Republican, and he probably likes Trump. This mansplaining cannot go on.
Senator, we'll ask questions. We'll have a time for statements at the conclusion.
My question is, what
is your question? You can't think of one because obviously the videotape is rather explosive. I mean, we don't know if it was fraud, but it certainly does look maybe like something was going on. So what are we going to ask? What are we going to do? I don't know. It's looking pretty bad. Trump sucks.
The question is, since this has been debunked repeatedly.
Except it hasn't. Now, parts of the story have been allegedly debunked. Fine. But this is a videotape. This is new evidence, as far as I know, out for the past couple of days or a week or whatever it was. This has not been debunked. The videotape is showing exactly what happened in the counting room that night. Not been debunked. Not even once.
What evidence can you give to us?
You mean except aside from the videotape, you'd like to see more evidence? What would be sufficient? There's pretty good evidence that something maybe is going on. And of course, Senator Parent wants more evidence.
That counters what our elections officials have presented us with only an hour ago.
You mean like the videotape?
You just saw it. Your officials need to watch the video.
Yep, they certainly do. Evidently, they haven't, as of yet. Senator Parent, just like you did. You saw it, and you are probably going to interpret it a little bit differently. You see, I can't remember if it was Douglas Murray, I think, said something on the order of, we just don't have a political difference in America. We disagree on reality at this point.
What about the fact that they say that they had a monitor there the entire time?
There's no monitor present in the video. That, I think, is a good question to ask. Okay, if the election monitor was there, where is he or she in the video? Not in the video. Not present. Maybe out for a 3-hour smoke break. Perhaps? Who knows?
I can't speak for them.
Well, thank you.
They did not have the video.
There's that evil mansplainer again. They did not have a videotape. You, woman, you. Feel my masculinity.
They said they had a monitor the whole time.
Yeah, and it's not in the video. Monitor's not in the video. That's the frigging point, Senator. Do you see what I'm... Oh, God.
You're looking at the room.
There's no Secretary of State.
Then maybe we should invite them back in.
Let me play that back.
You're looking at the room.
There's no Secretary of State.
Then maybe we should invite them back in.
So her frustration is to the point where her voice breaks. Well, maybe we should let them back in because there's nothing you can say here. The attorney is saying, look, there's no monitor in the frigging room. And the senator's like, oh my God, they said it was there the whole time. It's like, you can look. They're not there. Oh my God. And here comes Mr. Mansplainer.
All right. Well, we may need to do that. Senator Tillery.
And you got to watch the video. It's at the 2053 point where this senator, this is like a grown-ass adult woman who's an attorney, well-educated, University of Virginia, shaking her head like she's a little kid. Oh, yeah, we need to go to people back in here. Waving her head side to side. It's like, what? Oh, my goodness. I will put the link below so you can read it. James Maxwell. Thank you for listening.